Hi, welcome. My name is Marlene. Today I am doing my part 2 and I'm going to see how far I can get with swatching my Terra Moon's single shadows collection. I do have the part 1 already on here. I did swatches on the eyes and I showed it in different lighting, and I also did comparisons of shades that I found were slightly similar in the pans, like looking at them, like these two here look very similar, right? And I mentioned these at the end of the video I did last time. So we're going to compare those four I talked about at the end, the beginning today, and then I'm going to see how far I can get with what's in this palette here. These have already been swatched in case you're curious on part 1. These we will see how far we can get. And then unfortunately today is like an overcast kind of day out here. It's sprinkled, it's summer, it's just odd. So I'm gonna try to get as much natural light as I can. Right now I do have these lights in front of me, but I want to show you what they look realistically in different lightings. Anyways, let's stop with the blabbering and get on with swatching. The first two I have are Echo Pulse and Carinae. Now, I thought these looked kind of similar on certain angles, like right there. They both look kind of similar, and then if you angle it, that one's got a little turquoise or a little green. I'll show you that they're not just reflecting off of each other, the color. But they're both very kind of similar to me, so I thought it fair to compare. Now, the last video I did, I gave a little breakdown about what astronomical thing that might have inspired the name and the color for these shadows. Terra Moons being very inspired by very celestial things out there. I'm going to insert pictures in afterwards just to speed up the process, because I will include pictures while I'm editing. This first one I am going to swatch is called Echo Pulse. The second one we're going to swatch is Carinae. So in case you were curious what these were like compared, if you were looking at them on the website and you were like, what's the difference? Hopefully this helps. So this one is Echo Pulse. Let me add a little extra light here. I put this one on my right eye here. Ooh, I really love this so far. It's showing off very purpley in my mirror here. It feels kind of sticky. It's kind of an odd feeling on my eyelid. There's a little bit of tackiness to it. It's not an uncomfortable tackiness though. And then I see a lot of green. Bring it all the way up. This color is so freaking pretty. And I'm like really packing this on, I know. And it's gonna be making it a little bit more difficult for me to take these off afterwards, but I really want to get the most intensity I can out of these. It's a little sheared out there on the outer part, and I'm gonna try to shear it up to the eyebrows, just so you can see what it kind of looks like sheared out. But this color is freaking amazing. Without that extra light, I really love this so far. That one is Echo Pulse. Let me pull this light fully out of the way. And let me bring you in a little too. Love. Love that one. Okay, and then the next one we're going to swatch out is Carinae. Oh, so there's very clear difference. Very clear once you have them swatched out. This one's kind of got like a reddish like base. Like a reddish purple base. Okay, going in with Echo Pulse on the left eye. Carinae looks like a hollow. I mentioned in my last video, I'm not like a total like makeup expert, but I think this is what you would call a hollow, because it does kind of have that like little rainbow sparkle effect, like a hologram. This one's very pretty, but like compared to this one, I think this one clearly steals the show. But this is still gorgeous. Let's go look at these in the little bit of natural light we got going on today. And this is them in the little bit of lighting we have today. Echo Pulse is on this side. And then Carinae is on this side, which is this guy. This is them in low lighting. I think they're so gorgeous in low lighting. And this is supposed to be like my brightest window here with the most amount of sunshine. This one has my heart right now. These next two, I'm already very excited because I swatched them on the back of my hand just to show all four of them together. I have Milky Way, and Moontide. Moontide is very special because it looks like purple at some angles. And then it looks kind of turquoisey. On the back of my hand here, I have Echo Pulse, which was the ones that we just did recently, Carinae, Milky Way, and Moontide. I'm excited for these. Let's do Milky Way first. This feels like I described some of the shadows in the other video, like they're a little on the scratchier side because they are kind of like, they have like little foils or kind of like metallic-y foil type texture. It will smooth out, like when you put it on like that, you can still see the chunks, but like you kind of have to like smooth it out so that you get rid of the texture of it. But I kind of enjoy having the chunkiness, and I like having the opacity, so I like keeping it a little bit on the foily chunky side. But you can shear it out and you can smooth these out. We'll shear it out towards the outer edges. This is so freaking pretty. And then we're gonna do Moontide. This one's a lot more softer and finer than the Milky Way formula. See, that's how like super chunky it is, the Milky Way one. And then Moontide here, so much smoother. but I really love the effect over here. It feels more like multi-dimensional than just the shimmer, but I love the color shift. I usually don't like turquoisey shifts, which I feel like this kind of has a little bit of that, but I love the purple. Like, it goes to like a really strong, like indigo deep purple. I'm still impressed. I'm like so blown away by how good these shadows are. It's kind of more difficult to capture the like epicness of this Milky Way shade, because it can pick up really dark on the camera, but it's not that dark of a shade in person. So you can tell by the swatch. The pan's a lot darker than what the swatch is. And then this one, oh my goodness. Wow, Moontide. Oh. The last time I had one that matched my hair almost perfectly that I swatched out first, but this one, like Moontide, I feel like really fits the vibes of my hair today. Moontide being this one right here, the purpley one, and then Milky Way being this one. And that other kind of low lighting. And in front of this brightest window. Okay, those last four were pretty epic. Let's change colors a little bit. We're going to do a couple of pink ones. This one is Nebula Heart and then Strawberry Supernova. I've already used these in the very first try out of Terra Moons. This one is Heart Nebula. It's got a little bit more of that like kind of gold reflect in it. And then this is Strawberry Nova. Strawberry Nova has like a little bit more of kind of like a blue, but it still has that like gold reflect. And this one I think you could say it has even a little bit of purple, the Heart Nebula. And then Strawberry Supernova is a little bit more on the pink side. Heart Nebula first. This is Heart Nebula. This one's very soft and easy to apply. And I can see a lot of kind of like embery, like yellow goldish color, and then it turns into like a little bit of like kind of like a green out here. Kill some of that light. That is Heart Nebula. It's so pretty. New Strawberry Supernova. On this one, the pink is a lot more vibrant. I think this one's my favorite just because the pink pops a little more, and then it has that like little bit of like blue in it. And I feel like this one has like a lot of that like kind of iridescence. but I think this one kind of suits my eye color and like my skin complexion more. Like the contrast is a little bit better. Even if I turn this light off. Yeah, I just like the contrast of this a lot better, personally, for my skin tone. So Strawberry Supernova and Heart Nebula. So our Strawberry Supernova is this one, and then Heart Nebula is over here. Yeah, this one's just super pretty. This one feels kind of more of like a highlighter shade. Next two I also used in my first impressions video. This one is UFO. And then this one is GJ504B. This one, like I saw I go off of the website, but I checked this morning and it's back up there. This one is so far my favorite because it's just so delicious. Both of these are beautiful. Let's do UFO first. I love how it goes from that kind of like magenta, or like, what would you call that? Kind of like a plummy color, to that like deep vibrant purple. I guess it'd be like a fuchsia. It's so cool. Alright, and then let's do my all-time favorite, GJ504B. This one is very chunky, but it's just the most delicious thing ever. I'm gonna swatch these on the back of my hands just so you can see. But this is it like in one swipe, and then I'm gonna try to smooth it out a bit. Oh, so magical. I love how like wet it looks and like shiny. Just compared to like all the other ones, you can just tell that she is special. So that's GJ504B, and then UFO, Heart Nebula, and Strawberry Supernova. This one is a little bit more, requires a little bit more work to apply. It's not too much work, as you can see. I'm building it up really nicely, right? But you can get those like chunks of the foils. And then if you really want it smoothed out, you just gotta like work at it a little to squish out those little flakes. But like I said, I prefer the flake appearance. And I've sheared it out a little bit out there at the end. This one though. Like I love how like it looks kind of like wet. I think this would sum me up. If I was an eyeshadow, I think I would be this guy here. As you can see what I'm talking about with the like how it's a little bit takes a little bit more work to smooth out, but I love the chunky appearance. Like if I was to really pack it on a little bit more, it would look a little less sparse, but of course I do have to wipe these off immediately after to swatch the other ones. But you can totally achieve a smooth appearance on it if you wanted to. I could barely even get some of that gold to show up in this lighting. There it is though. And in low lighting, oh my goodness. I'm looking all glittery. I'm not sure if you can tell the amount of sparkles I have on my face right now. I'm gonna switch to a lighter color. This one I freaking love. Whenever I want to do kind of like a lazy one and done quick swipe eyeshadow, I've been reaching for this one. It's called Sublunar. I'll just put this all over the lid with a little bit of a different shimmer in the inner corner, like a gold, and then just some eyeliner and mascara, and I'm good to go. And then this one I have yet to try. It's called Zero Gravity. Let's start with Sublunar. Oh, just look at how fiery that is. Like, come on! Oh my goodness! I really can't with these, dude. Like, oh my goodness. I'm happy I have you guys to share this with, because honestly, like, if I didn't have anybody else to share this with, I mean, obviously, like, Mary, like, I'll harass her and be like, Mary, look at this pretty color. And then she'll do the same. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Mary here on YouTube, please go check her out. She's, like, the best. But yeah, if I didn't have this as an outlet to be like, oh my gosh, look at this is so cool, I would have nobody to tell, because like literally like I don't know who else I would tell. I don't have a lot of like girly friends or friends that are like into makeup, or just like female friends in general. And then I work with a bunch of dudes, so it's, you know, I'm limited to who I can be like, yo, check this out. So this is Sublunar. And I don't know what is going on with my lighting, but like you can barely see it. I'm sure it's probably too the weird funkiness that's going outside, because it's like super overcast. But I also wore this on my Haniix contact try on. This is the shadow I had on in that video. Yes. Okay, that's Sublunar, and then let's do Zero Gravity. No, please don't break. Please don't break. Okay, she's safe. This is Zero Gravity. This one's very sheer, but you can see that it has that hint of blue. Oh, and it is so silky. My eyelids are like, thank you. Ooh. This could be used as a highlight. This can also be one of those one swipe quick, not one swipe, but like one eyeshadow type of look. This could also be used as a one eyeshadow look. I could see myself using this as I do with this one. think this lighting kind of does it a little bit more justice. This is Sublunar. And then Zero Gravity is over here. This one right here at this angle is like essence of rainbow. In low lighting. Ooh. I'm gonna do 2 more because my eyelids are starting to feel the wear and tear. And the last 2 are kind of like a baby blue type color, or periwinkle and like a baby blue. This is Mintaka. And then this is Pistol Star. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna turn this off for a little bit because I don't want to like be broken record, but I don't know what's up with my lighting. My lighting's like really bad. So this, look at that. That green shift to that purple. And then you see like kind of like a little bit of gold reflect. I think that's what I saw in both of them, and that's why I wanted to compare them together. Because they both have that really strong teal, and then they both kind of share that little kind of like periwinkle-ish type color. And my lighting was kind of on point last time where I could really show you what was going on. So I do apologize for that. I'm not dialed in today. But this is Mintaka. Maybe we should leave this off while we're doing this so you can see a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Put that on just to apply this, but right now it looks very lavender for me directly head on here. It does need to be smoothed out because it will stay a little chunky if you don't smooth it out. Sure, it doesn't help that my eyelids are a little bit on the drier side because I can see it starting to gather here. So we'll give them a little break after this. That's really pretty. That is Mintaka. Ooh. That is fun. Okay, then let's do Pistol Star. This one straight on, I see a lot of turquoise. And then I'm starting to see the lavender and stuff here in the middle. Yeah, I see a lot of turquoise out here and then the lavender. But they are kind of very similar, like straight on. They look very similar. But this one's a lot spicier. This one for sure has a lot more turquoise. kind of reminds me of one of the ones I swatched last time, which was last time I swatched these two, Aliens Bloom and Stellar Apotheosis. And Stellar Apotheosis was like very turquoise, and then this one was like a little bit more tamed, which is kind of reminded me of what's going on with these two right now. So I want to swatch these one on top of another. So Pistol Star is the one I have on my right eye, which is this one. So that was that one. Has a lot of turquoise. And the other one that had a lot of turquoise from the last time was Stellar Apotheosis. So this is Pistol Star, and this is Stellar Apotheosis. Mintaka, which was the one we have over here. I'm going to compare that one to Aliens Bloom. They're very different, but like it's just the vibes were similar. So this is Mintaka, and then this is Aliens Bloom. So these two are the current ones. And then these two are the ones I swatched last time because of how similar they were to me. But all four of these have that turquoise shift. Some a little more aggressive than others. I would say Pistol Star, Stellar Apotheosis, and Aliens Bloom are the most aggressive with the turquoise shift. Mintaka is very kind of tame, but it's still kind of there. See, this one's the most tame with the turquoise shift. And that's all four of them together. Mintaka being this one, Pistol Star being here, Stellar Apotheosis being this one, and then Aliens Bloom being down here in the corner. Kind of hard trying to get them. I feel like I'm throwing signs. I'm so. And I'll insert kind of like a side by side. Let's try to do a side by side of those last two shades compared to these shades. So Mintaka is over here. Pistol Star is on this side, the more purpley one. And their respective eye. In low lighting, these are gorgeous. Mintaka, and then Pistol Star. Yeah, they look very similar in this lighting. Also, in this lighting, they look very similar. Very different in the pan, though. We got through a lot more this round. This is what we did last time. Today we did this row plus these 4. So we did pretty awesome. And then we have left for next time these right here. And then the mattes, if anyone's curious about what the mattes look like. Alright, well, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope this was useful if you were curious about what these colors looked like, swatched out in different lightings. Like I said, I know my lighting was kind of fighting me this time around, but I hope it was helpful to compare some of these from what I thought were slightly similar shades. They're all very unique in their own way, of course. You know, like I said, these ones here, similar but very different, and it's kind of like different levels of intensity. Like this one compared to this one, and hopefully comparing the other ones helps you make a decision if you were interested in purchasing any of these. Alright, well, I hope to see you in another video, and I hope you take care. Bye.